great big welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Show. I've got Rashid Ali here with me. He's from the Inner London Football League and he's General Secretary. And we're going to explore and find out a bit more about this organisation and what they do in terms of delivering football to the community. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Emdad, for inviting me.
Tell us a little bit about the Inner London Football League.
Well, funny you should ask that. This year is our 15th year of establishment.
Congratulations.
And this coming Thursday, 1st of September, in White House, we're actually having our award ceremony, our 15th annual award ceremony. And we've been growing in the recent 5 years with the help of the board members and the member teams and the management structure. We are growing each year with projects and events, and we can discuss some more finer details.
And 15 years.
It's 15 years. I remember when we had a few teams back in the day, we used to play in Asian League and things weren't working out for us. We came out of the league, we got together, all the 7-8 teams, a couple of new teams were formed, and we established in the London Football League with the community teams, with unity with all the managers, and that's how it was formed 15 years ago. And you know, inshallah, it's growing and getting bigger. We're now not only just doing Winter League, we're doing Summer League, we're doing Vets League, we're doing tournaments such as the Unity Cups, a Super Cup, a Legends Cup. We even do, in partnership with other organisations, Interleague Champions Cup, also UK BFC, which you probably heard of, is a unique national project. So there are a lot of projects we're doing, and every year we are growing. We even have our own TV show with NTV. It's going from strength to strength, and all due to the hard work of the management, also the member teams who've been stayed with us in participating in our projects.
So your success has been really good. Obviously, I've been following ILFL closely for a number of years as well. In the beginning, you obviously had to pull in your resources, call in contacts, and beg some teams to join the league and to make up the numbers now. But if I'm correct, Rash, you've actually got a waiting list now, have you?
With certain projects, we are over successful, to be honest. With the Vets League in particular, we started that with partnership with Snoliotit 3.5 years ago. We actually in Vets League 7 now. When we started, we had 8 teams. Now we actually got 19 teams. And only last week, I had 3 teams contact me, want to join the next Vets League when it starts in 4 months' time. So that's a sign that Vets League is in the rise, it's in demand. With the Winter League, the open age, it's been topsy-turvy. Some years we get 3 divisions. Last year we had 27 teams. This year I'm in discussion with a lot of teams. Teams are finding it difficult in terms of squad numbers. Teams are finding it difficult financially. So we have go down to 2 divisions, or depending how things work out in the next week or 2, we may stick to 3 divisions. But in other projects like Unity Cups, we run it for 3 years. We have 32 teams from all throughout UK nationally. Legends Cup, we had 16 teams, which is the Vets 11-a-side tournament, which we do. Again, we had 16 teams throughout the UK. And one of the great projects which I'm really proud of is working with MK Galacticos and Shapla League, the UK BFC, best Bangladesh football tournament for the last 3 years. We actually played in a professional stadium. Each year we rotate location. First year was done in Milton Keynes, played in the MK Don Stadium. Second year was hosted in London, played in the Dagenham Red Bridge Stadium. And this, a couple of months ago, it was played in Northampton. And 2 of our teams from London actually went to the final, and Bowman actually winning it. So that's a very prestigious, for me, a tournament. Another project which we've started 4 years ago, the Interleague Champions Cup, where we as league send 4 teams, and 3 other leagues send their 4 teams. So champions versus champions, and that for me is generating a lot of interest. It's refreshing, it's challenging, because sometimes in the league you play the same team year in, year out, you tend to get bored with it. With this new concept, the Interleague Champions, you're playing the cream of the cream, so to speak, from all 4 leagues. And that's, I think, refreshing, a new challenge, and I think that's a tournament that a lot of the teams, a lot of the people are looking forward to. So as ILFL, we're proud of these projects, and hopefully, we keep growing and get better, and we'd like more member clubs or participants to come forward and be part of this unique, organization and grow bigger.
You sound like a very well-travelled individual. Have you noticed a significant, myself as a coach and manager, an occasional football player, I have noticed in terms of standards, with all due respect, there is a difference between players from down south and up north. Have you noticed that as well?
I have noticed that. I know people from our side may not like to hear this, but unfortunately, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. If you look at certain tournaments, we tend to have majority of the London players, London teams more successful, or majority times in the final. Yes, there are 1 or 2 teams from our side that have managed to win tournaments or gone to final. But if you look overall in certain projects, it's always been the London teams. I think they're still slightly ahead, especially in 11-a-side format. I think outside London, in the recent years, they've started playing more 11-a-side. I think before they used to concentrate on 5-a-side and 7-a-side. I'm not being unfair, but I still think they've got catching up to do. I'm not saying they're poor, but they still need to catch up with London teams. London teams, I think, are more established, more organised, and quality in depth, I think, is there. There's more pool of players to pool and more facility. Hopefully, in the coming years, the teams from outside London, be it Midlands or be it up north, they will obviously develop and pace and get to that level where we can all compete. But at this moment in time, I think the South, in London in particular, I think we're slightly ahead. Not too much, but I think we're still slightly ahead based on the projects and based on what I've seen, from my opinion. Obviously, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but from what I've seen, I think London teams are still ahead of other areas, be it from wherever parts of the UK.
So the Inner London Football League, how significant is your role in veterans football, and why is it important to keep promoting football to football players after a certain age?
Well, the Vets League, we've actually only came into it 3 years ago, but initially our main focus is the Winter League, because we wanted to keep our youth, our community together. We wanted them to keep to participate in sports, so it keeps them off the street, crime and other bad stuff, basically. So this was designed to obviously fitness, promote well-being and discipline, and life skills, punctuality, work as a team. Those areas we need to improve, and I think initially the idea was to keep have this league, so at least the youth or the players have something to look forward to on a weekend, on a Sunday. And obviously, as years gone by, we've got other projects like the Interleague Champions, like the UKBFC, and now in the recent years, the Vets League. I think Vets League, it was a matter of coming, because the players that played back in the days, when I'm talking about late 80s or 90s, they seem to have more passion. That's why, to be honest, I was quite surprised when we started with 8 teams and we've got 19 teams and more waiting. It's because those players those days had the passion, the drive, and willingness to play more and give 100%, which I think in this day and age, at this time, may be lacking slightly. I know the youth or the youngsters or the players between 20 and 30 may not like to hear this, but I think they're not as passionate as we used to be back in the days.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that's why it's, as you said, the Vets League is increasing, demand is there. Even if you go to a Vets tournament or a Vets League game, there's more people watching, there's more people coming, there's more passion on the pitch. You can see the intensity and the drive, the willingness to win. Whereas in the open age, I'm not saying everyone, but some teams lack that drive. I know some of the managers are stressed trying to phone a player, has to phone him 4 or 5 times. Is he available? Is he working? Can he come? There's a lot of questions. Whereas my days, we turned up regardless of where we're playing. If we're playing, we paid towards facility. Wasn't great. Now, with the facility provided for the youth or the 20, 30-year-olds, they should take advantage and give 100% and make them name for themselves. And we need to, as a community, not just Asians, but every culture should use the facility and try and promote your club or your area or the community itself.
There's a grossly negative stereotype about Asians not wishing to play any kind of sports in the cold weather, but ILFL have been running a very hugely successful winter league.
What we do is we have no restrictions, and I think if you look at it in the 15 years ago when we did start, yes, majority of teams were from Tamils, yes, majority of from Bengali origin, but now 15 years later, I would say it's the reverse. I would say 70% of the players or the teams that participate are non-Bengali, which is good, because I think me being a Bengali, I want our Bengali players or Bengali teams to challenge with the best, play with the other, not just be in a comfort zone, play against yourself. They need to play against best teams, best players. And not only that, not just have Bengali players in the team, have a mixture, because in the wider community, these are the players, people we're living with, our neighbours, our people, our colleagues, and the outside world. Realistically, that's what we need to do. And in our league, there's no restriction. That's why you get this competition, and competitiveness is really, really great. And it's good to see, because you'll see when you come on Thursday award ceremony, it's not just Asian, it's not just Bengali, it's a mixture of cultures from all types, all backgrounds, all countries, ethnicity, religion, etc., which is, I think for me, from ILFL point of view, is a very proud moment to say, we're not just looking for our community or our culture or religion, we're looking at everyone in the whole community itself throughout, not just London, outside London, because as you touched on Vets League, we had players come from Swindon, from Milton Keynes, outside London for a 40 minutes game. Even in open age, we've not just got teams within Tamils, we've got teams from up north, northwest, southeast, from Lewisham, from Camden Town, from outside. So for me, that's an achievement to have teams not just within the comfort zone, within Tamils borough itself, it's outside London as well. And for me, hopefully we can grow and get more teams from our side and get bigger.
Sounds brilliant. So tomorrow, Thursday, you've got a award ceremony and big dinner. I've been to some of your events before. They've been very lavish, fantastic, great atmosphere. The best thing about it, Rash, is David Joseph last year, he said 1 hour and he cleared the trophies in 1 hour. And he did a impromptu bow to the crowd at the end as well. He didn't drag on for hours and hours and hours. But tell us a little bit about the award ceremony. What is it a celebration of? And
it's basically a get together because obviously I have to say thanks to Cameroons and the management board. It's quite difficult organising, and due to the success in the recent years, been 15 years established, he's managed to get sponsors and organisers and caterers and facility provide that to us. And I think we wanted to give that back to the member clubs, and we wanted to celebrate together as one in one roof. Get together, celebrate all the projects together. It's a wonderful event. It's a chance to come unwind, relax, enjoy the atmosphere, get some trophies, and get together, have a meal, and it's a celebration night, to be honest. So I think it's for all members. We don't charge any teams. It's free because the board has taken on board to raise the money for sponsorship. So people and the team should feel free to come, enjoy as one organisation under one roof, and basically have a blast, enjoy the night, and being the 15th, hopefully it'll be an exceptional night. And I'll invite everyone to come and enjoy themselves, and hopefully it becomes a great night.
he said, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you clear a table full of trophies. And I remember that stuck in my head because it was the first time I went to an award ceremony, especially a football one, where they didn't take hours and hours and hours before they served the food. So that was really, and there were a lot of trophies there, as you know, being part of the organisers as well. How important, Rash, is it for the local? I'm gonna put it back on the community as well, because you've been doing some fantastic and sterling work. And I assume everybody there is a volunteer.
All the management committee are volunteer. We don't get paid. There's no expenses. It's all out of our own time. Whilst we are running our own families, doing our full-time jobs, in between we do that. So credit to the management, because I've seen the work behind the scene that's required. And I think the wider audience, the members need to realise there's a lot of work behind the scene, a lot of hours put in by volunteer management committee, and a massive thanks to them for contributing those hours and effort, making sure, because it's a lot of hard work. It's not easy running so many projects on an annual basis. Even the award ceremony is a lot of hard work. Catering for 450 people is what we're looking at for this Thursday. Getting the food, the seating, the arrangements. It is a lot of work.
As a sneak peek, I've got to ask you about it. Are you expecting any special guests?
There are a lot of guests. As usual, we do have high-profile individuals from the business world, from the world of politics, from the world sponsors. Various guests will be there. So we're expecting each year we always get the MPs or the councillors, the mayors, as usual. So we're expecting a lot of faces to be there, recognised faces, and we encourage teams to bring their own management board and the sponsors, so we can obviously acknowledge and appreciate the hard work they give to other teams. But yes, we're expecting a lot of special guests on the night.
Volunteers on the management board have been doing a sterling effort for years now, 15 years to be precise, as we've discussed earlier now. Now let's put this back on the community, because it's a two-way process. As far as I'm concerned, it's not about just you giving. What can the community and what should the community do to support the excellent work that Inner London Football League are doing?
I think what they can do, obviously, they need to realise that behind the scenes there's a lot of work, and if there's any projects they can get a hand on or volunteer time, we always ask for people to come forward and join the management committee. So if there's teams who have certain expertise or skills, we could do it. They can come on board, because there's no restriction, because it's open. We normally have an election, and we have every 2 years, and we ask people from teams, come forward, and join our management board and help us give back to your team and other teams. So we're always looking for people to come and join our board. We're always looking for new sponsors, because finance is a big factor in running projects. Money makes a lot of difference, not just the team, but to us as an organisation as well. So if there's people with sponsorship requirements, or if there's people with certain expertise, skills, they can help us. Please come forward and join our management, and we'll really appreciate that.
Rash, you're with a flagship organisation, as far as I can see from where I'm standing. Not everybody plays football, but then they may retain a huge interest in football. Would you, I don't know, you might be doing this already now, but would you look to also support the community by, I don't know, possibly facilitating referee courses or learning development coaches level 1, 2, for people who might not be interested in playing football on a physical level, but they're very much interested in the learning aspects and developmental aspects of the game.
That is something we are in discussion at the moment in time. Although we expertise in the field of open age and vets, we're looking at even youth football, we're looking at other means or even charities, getting involved in other charity organizations. We are looking at that, but what you have to be realistic is, do we have the manpower? Do we have the time facility, the infrastructure? These are the things we're looking at. Yes, we'd like to be involved, but given the flexibility, if we can, we will join other organizations or charities or events or do other things. We are looking at FA coachings, referees courses. We are looking at that, but it's quite difficult. That's why we need more help and support from other member clubs, the council, our sponsors, business people to come on board and help us grow and get involved with other projects, like you just mentioned now.
And looking forward, 15 years have gone by in a flash. You've got some magical achievements there. On a personal basis, on individuals, or if we look at the teams and on a collective basis as well. And I'm looking forward now. I'm sure as an organisation, flagship organisation, as I've mentioned there as well, you're constantly looking to improve and move forwards now as well. What's the plans going forward?
Well, with certain projects, we want to get bigger. Like, for example, the Interleague Champions Cup, we actually got 4 leagues working in partnership. Personally, I want to get another 8 leagues involved because it's good to work with other leagues. The UK BFC, we were running an open age. I would like to see teams from outside UK. There are a lot of things that we're looking into so that we can bigger and better ourselves and be in recognition, not just within town hamlets. I want this to go nationwide with certain projects. And hopefully in the coming years, with the support from member teams and other people within the community, we will grow. With likes of Unity Cup, we have 32 teams from the UK. We'd like to extend that to 64 teams. So there are a lot of things that in pipeline, but again, it comes down to manpower and financial support and support.
And what should people do if they want to get in touch to provide expertise and support?
Come and see me or speak to one of the management committee members, and we always are willing to take on people with ideas, suggestions. Come and see me, come and speak to me or any of the board members, and we'll have a discussion and we'll look ways to accommodate that requirement. Anything that helps the league, it's your league, it's the community's leagues. We are known as a townless league, so obviously we want not just townless people from outside London. We've got a couple of teams from North West, West London. Everyone should come together, bring ideas and work together, and hopefully we'll get bigger. 15 years is a milestone. It's a great achievement, and to be honest, we haven't had many supports from the so-called council or other people. We've sustained it ourselves. We managed to go and get sponsors with the help of member teams and other sponsors. We managed. We want to be here another 15 years time to say, you know what, from 15 years ago, we've doubled the efforts, doubled the projects, and there are more member clubs, and that for me would be a sign for a long-term basis.
Rashid, as far as I can see, Inner London Football League is a credit to football. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you deliver a sports show. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe until next time, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching The Sports Show.